All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World of Wrestling podcast. Here today to discuss about the WWE Raw July 28th, 2025 review. And just to cut short and sweet, this is going to be a short one. I'm not going to really break down every little detail, honestly, because I'd rather do something else than talk about Monday Night Raw, because Raw sucked last night. Outside of the ending with Jey Uso and Bronson Reed, where Roman Reigns came to save Jey Uso from a brutal beating and so forth. And he got destroyed by Braun Breaker. This show was fucking crap. CM Punk, Gunther, that was a good promo, but I mean, really, we should have gotten that last week, but I guess they were just trying to make this as the ending go home for this matchup because there's not much to it. It's just really two guys competing over the world title. That's the only story we got developing here. I'm pretty certain Seth Rollins is going to get involved in this match. I would not dare even touch this match if you were to bet on it. But overall, this show sucked. I really did not find this entertaining. I think the match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross being hyped up for that match at SummerSlam isn't bad, but per se, I don't expect Karrion Kross to win this matchup at all. I think Karrion Kross is going to suffer another L. I think Karrion Kross is being mistreated as fuck, and not to mention, I have heard that he hasn't signed a contract yet. And for all we know, this could be his final match in the WWE, and where he'd be going after that, I have no idea. The show did kickstart with the tribute to Hulk Hogan again. I'm not going to go all over this again. The video package from SmackDown to this video package of last night were actually two different video packages to tribute to Hulk Hogan, which I thought was kind of nice to do. Two different separate entities, kind of making it feel different instead of just a repeat of the same thing. Because Triple H literally was saying the same words that he said on SmackDown, because what he said on SmackDown was pre-recorded and used for last night's show. Believe it or not, because I did not see Triple H anywhere in sight. Unless he was standing in the ring and the cameras did not want to pan on him while he was cutting the promo. But that is not the case. It was recorded. More than likely, I highly doubt he was actually there in person talking. Because if that was the case, he'd actually been in the front like he was on SmackDown. Anywho, the show started off with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman to talk about the family. Jey Uso comes out, a lot of eating, a lot of BSing, yada yada yada. Crowd's going wild for Uso. Uso wants to run it back, but Paul Heyman cuts him off. Crowd loudly boos Heyman as he walks out to the stage. Heyman tries to do his usual stick, but the crowd boos him down. He says his name is not Boo. Heyman says he is not here to be disrespectful to Jey Uso, even though he's the main event tonight against Big Bronson Reed. Heyman is here to speak man-to-man, a former bloodline member to another. Heyman wanted to speak from the heart. A loud OTC chant fires up, and Heyman wants to speak from the heart in front of the worldwide audience about family. Heyman goes to get in the ring, but he sees the look on Uso's face and decides to back away from the ring. Heyman says he cannot believe that Uso accepted his cousin's invitation to team with him this Saturday at SummerSlam against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Uso's doing it all in the name of family. Heyman emphasizes family is the derogatory way. Heyman says family is always going to let you down and get you in trouble. Heyman says trust the oracle. That's not a prediction, that's a prophecy. So now he's calling prophecies instead of spoilers. Like how this guy goes from a guy that's just predicting what's going to happen in the ring to being a guy that can tell the prophecy of the future. Whatever. Heyman can see Uso isn't buying into what he's telling him. Another loud OTC chant fires up. Heyman wants to lay this one on Uso. When Uso was a kid, did his mother tell him it was Santa Claus that left the presents underneath the tree? Because he didn't. In other words, Uso's mother lied to him. Uso is pacing in the ring, and Heyman says everyone's mothers lied to them too. Except for the Jewish ones, because his tribe knows better. Wow, what a fucking... That is some racist shit right there. Like, as if a Jewish mother won't lie to her child about Santa Claus. Did Uso's father tell him that he wanted him to become more iconic than he was? Is that what Rikishi told him? Rikishi doesn't want that. Uso's father lied to him too. That's not true. Rikishi wants Jey Uso to be the fucking leader of WWE practically. If he's not holding the world title, he feels like his son is being buried. I don't know. He's being placed alongside with Roman Reigns in a tag team match. I don't know what the Rikishi's smoking, but whatever. When Roman Reigns was going to pick the next in line for the tribal chief, he didn't pick Uso. He picked Solo Sikoa. How did that work for the family? Now Reigns thinks he would have been a better choice for the tribal chief. Does he tell Uso that Reigns wants him to be as rich, famous, and as big as he is? If Roman Reigns said that to Uso, Roman Reigns lied to him too. Heyman isn't saying this out of anger or malice. Heyman is saying this because he loves Jey, and Uso looks conflicted. The crowd is loudly booing Heyman, and Heyman says he loves Uso just like family. Heyman then yells, "Yeet!" and Heyman drops the microphone and bows to Uso. My God. The crowd chants bullshit. Uso paces around the ring and says family is why he's here. Uso will tell Heyman one more time not to run his mouth about his family. Uso will pull up for his family every time. That bloodline still runs deep in his veins. Uso's fired up, and Heyman is out here talking crap and disrespecting him, while he's huffing and puffing and can't seem to be able to talk right, as if he's out of breath and been doing a lot of working out or some shit. Uso did all these things because he wanted to prove it to himself. He won the world championship to prove it to himself. It had nothing to do with Roman Reigns. Speaking of family, where's Heyman's? They brought Heyman into his family. Here's what's going to happen. Heyman screwed his cousin at WrestleMania. His boy screwed him out of the World Championship. Whatever happens tonight and SummerSlam is on Heyman's ass. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And Uso says, we're going to run this shit back. Uso starts to dance and celebrate again. God. Now, this segment, to me, had nothing but screaming, let's turn Uso into a heel. Now, that could possibly work, but where does Seth Rollins go in all this? They're looking for a leader. Now, I don't know what leader that is. They're trying to go for Jey Uso. I would be okay with the idea of Jey Uso turning heel. I think that would be mind-boggling and shocking. I think Rikishi would be blown away. His own father would be shocked by that. I don't think that would be the proper way to go, though, based on Wrestling Creative 101. I mean, he's got that crowd at the palm of his hands, man. I've never seen that crowd as louder for him ever since he's created this yeet yeet character. So, honestly, I don't see Jey Uso turning heel or joining the Seth Rollins train. Not to mention, this is Seth Rollins' group, so I don't know how that's going to work out either. So I honestly don't see that happening either. I see that Seth Rollins is going to return. He's going to shock everyone and win the World Championship from CM Punk and screw him out of the title. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Right in the middle of the match, he's going to cash in, turn it into a triple threat match, and Seth will become the world champion, pinning CM Punk once again. Now, the problem with all this is we're talking about Sami Zayn. We're trying to build a story of Sami Zayn trying to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we got CM Punk, who every time has an opportunity to win the big one, he gets screwed by Seth Rollins. We got a major issue here. So, at the end of the day, I don't know what this is leading to outside of CM Punk getting screwed once again, never accomplishing his goal, and Sami Zayn, unless you go with CM Punk, Sami Zayn's got nothing going on for himself to get to the pathway of becoming the World Heavyweight Champion, goes another year without getting a world title opportunity, and actually winning it. So, there's two conflicting storylines going on at the same time that leads to the pathway of becoming the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. And the World Championship being with CM Punk has to be towards Seth Rollins as the main focal point. Sami Zayn, on the other hand, he was given the opportunity to go over to SmackDown to challenge for the WWE Championship against John Cena. Now, Cody more than likely will win that match at SummerSlam, God willing. I hope he does. I put money on him to win that match. I think he will. But still, again, I don't know. I really don't understand what's so difficult. Excuse me. This is very, very hard to actually pinpoint where they're going to go, because Sami Zayn seems like he's got a story leading towards WrestleMania of next year to win the world title, only to be shafted the opportunity to become the world champion by not winning that match. So, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Very confusing. Also very upsetting. So, I don't know. But, that is what the deal is here. So, moving on. We have a 6-man tag team match to kickstart the show in wrestling. We had AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane in a mixed gender match with the Judgment Day of Dominic Mysterio and the women's tag team champions Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Dominic ends up losing this match. AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors win with a phenomenal forearm, and that's how the match ends. So AJ Styles will not be winning the IC Championship, so if that's a match you would like to bet on, you're more than welcome to bet on Dominic Mysterio. I feel that he is very comfortable to bet on. Currently, right now, he is at a minus 200. So he's definitely affordable to win an easy $25 back. You bet $50, you get $25 back instantaneously without a fucking piss in the wind. You got a guaranteed shot at making good money. Well, it's not great money, but it's the right pick to bet on so that you guaranteed to win. That's all I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you bet $50 on him at a minus 200, you're going to win $25 back. That's the max you can actually win in profit on betting on the favorite. And you can bet $25 on the underdog. And the only underdog I can see winning at this pay-per-view, as I mentioned on the SmackDown review, is Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, who's a plus 100. He's about the only underdog that I feel is safe to bet on Maybe Tiffany Stratton, most definitely. The Wyatt Six are actually a good bet to make as well as an underdog at plus 200. But I'll get into that review, that preview and predictions next on Thursday when I go over the UFC fight card. Because I did not do UFC. I'm very upset about that, but I was going through a lot of shit personally and just dealing with the passing of Hulk Hogan. I just was not in the mood to do any of that shit. Anyway, we get a backstage segment with Jackie Redmond congratulating Sheamus on winning his match. Grayson Waller and the New Day, who are still dressed in black, mourning over the loss of the tag team titles. Waller says he dumped Austin Theory and wants to take it to Sheamus. Sheamus says Waller is like an infection. Sheamus is excited to take him on. Waller turns and sees that the New Day is not behind him anymore. Obviously, because they don't fucking want to do anything with Grayson Waller if he wants to be a schmuck taking after a guy for Sheamus. They want to take on a guy like Sheamus. Fuck that shit. I don't blame him. So Sheamus, Grayson Waller have a match. Sheamus ends up winning the match, but after the match was over, Rusev immediately hits Sheamus in the spine with a shillelagh, and Rusev beats Sheamus with the shillelagh as the crowd loudly boos him. The referees pull the shillelagh away, but Rusev has already moved on to putting Sheamus in the accolade, and the referee is called for help. More referees run down to try to pull Rusev off of Sheamus, but they can't. Rusev voluntarily releases the hold, and the psychotic look crosses his face as he stands over Sheamus. And that's pretty much it. Match was straightforward, to the point, didn't waste any time, got to the end. Thank God. That match sucked. No interest whatsoever. Jackie Redmond's backstage with Women's World Champion Naomi. She asks her about facing Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. How is she preparing, knowing that Rhea Ripley and Sky will be prepared for her this time? Naomi isn't happy that Redmond asked that question, and Naomi is not passive-aggressive. She's aggressive. Naomi doesn't care who you throw at her. Whether it's the past, present, or future of the division, she'll take them all out. When she walks out of SummerSlam and proves all the haters wrong, they can't say they weren't warned to proceed with caution. And then has a whack job laugh at the end, as if she's the fucking Joker. Lyra Valkyria is walking backstage. We're going to hear from her next. We get WWE stars reminiscing on Hulk Hogan and what he did for the business throughout the entire show. Backstage, Big Bronson Reed is backstage with Paul Heyman. Heyman says he hears that Jey Uso's family thinks they're nothing more than a group without a leader. Since Seth is out for an extended period of time, Braun Breaker says they now have a leader. And Breaker says Reed is going to destroy and tsunami Jey Uso. They'll show total control over WWE, and it starts tonight with Reed. Reed smiles and says, tonight, Jey Uso and any member of his family, I'm going to leave down, out, and tsunamied. Reed walks off, and Heyman says that worked. Breaker says he has a plan, and Heyman looks confused. Apparently, Braun Breaker is learning from the wise man, or is now the Oracle, Paul Heyman. He's coming up with plans of his own. This could be very interesting where they're going to go with this, whether the injury is real or not. I don't know. It should be interesting. But, yeah. Bronson Reed, on the other hand, just seems to be a stand-in, more like he's just there to be a member, to fill in a spot. I don't feel any attachment towards Bronson Reed in this group. I don't feel like he's going to do anything coming out of this once it's over. I kind of just feel like he has something to do, but it's not going to elevate his career in any way, shape, or form. Braun Breaker's the guy that's getting elevated in this faction, while Bronson Reed is just more of a stand-in of a character for this this group. That's all it is at the end of the day. Lyra Valkyrie calls out Becky Lynch. Lyra Valkyrie makes her way to the ring. She'll battle Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship in a no disqualification, no countout match. This episode, this segment with her, dreadful as shit. I don't even care to sit through all that. Sit here and tell you guys all what happened. There was mistakes on her part. This didn't come across well. Becky Lynch was kind of like coming out from behind. She tries to attack her and fails miserably. How you do that, I don't know. Gets her ass whipped by a fucking kendo stick. And Valkyria stands tall in the middle of the ring, making it look like Becky Lynch is actually going to win this match. Believe it or not, Lyra Valkyria on BetOnline was started at a minus 400. She has now dropped down to a minus 180. You want to bet on Lyra Valkyria? I don't know about that. I was willing to bet on that originally, but now, I don't know, man. That is kind of scary because Becky Lynch, she didn't look good here. She looked like she got her ass kicked, and she looks like she may be the one walking out of SummerSlam as still the IC champion. I'm a little concerned about this one, guys. I would just stay away from this match altogether. Just my opinion. Alright, backstage we had Corey Graves interviewed Sami Zayn. Zayn and Cross have been at odds, which comes to a head this weekend at SummerSlam. What is Zayn hoping to accomplish? Zayn says he's hoping to be done with Cross once and for all. Cross is obsessed with him. Cross wants some warped truth from him, but Zayn doesn't care. It's impeding him. It's standing in the way of Zayn's achieving his goals. Zayn wants to be a world champion, and Cross has to be finished at SummerSlam. Cross then interrupts, says that the stipulation is that he wins the match, that Sami Zayn will admit that Cross was telling the truth, that there is a dark side about Sami Zayn, and that's that. And he will leave him alone. Now, on the other hand, if Zayn wins, he still will leave him alone, technically, because he won't have to admit that. I don't know. This match just randomly thrown in the card just for the sake of throwing it in there. I don't know, man. This is just trash. I have no interest in this match whatsoever. I could care less if it was even on the card. I'm glad Karrion Kross is getting matches, but where was these matches and opportunities at before? And he's in a situation where he could lose. So, I don't know. To me, I think this sucks. I don't like where they got Karrion Kross at. I don't even know if Karrion Kross is going to remain within the company after this match is over and done with SummerSlam. So, it is what it is. Next, we had Jackie Redmond backstage with a dejected Bayley. This segment was actually good. Bayley isn't slated to appear at SummerSlam. What's next for her? Bayley says she lost her opportunity at IC title and the tag team titles. She already missed WrestleMania and now she's missing SummerSlam. For the first time in her career, she's at loss for words. And Bayley walks off and Redmond wonders if she's ever seen Bayley looking this lost. I love it. I think this is a story that could be a redemption story for her, or she could lead down a path of being a villain. That's the two choices. I think that, to me, it seems like they kind of like have a Dean Malenko type of situation where I think that's kind of where they're going with this. Because Dean Malenko had a similar storyline in WCW. He was doing great in the the cruiserweight division. He had the cruiserweight title for a long period of time. I think from 96 up to early 97. Things weren't going so well for him then by the time of 97. And then in 98, he was really down the toilet. He was losing more and more. And he eventually took a hiatus for, I think, like 2 months. Came back, won the cruiserweight title from Chris Jericho as somebody else. And from that point on, he kind of had an issue with what he did. And I think they stripped him of the title. I'd have to go back watching the Nitro episodes. I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't quite remember. But this is a similar situation. I think that Valkyria is going to win this match. I think Bayley is going to become a villain. And then we're going to get Bayley and Valkyria competing over the IC Championship. Yeah, I know. I did state that betting on this match would be a bad idea. But I am going to pick Valkyria, but there's still a chance that Becky Lynch could retain, never challenge for the title again, and then Bayley could go after the IC Championship against Becky Lynch. That's another option that they could go with, because they haven't had a one-on-one match yet over the IC title. Just saying. Anyway, 8 women's tag team match with Chelsea Green, Naomi, the Alba Fire, and Piper Niven against Io Sky, Stephanie Valcour, Nikki Bella, and Rhea Ripley. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's team wins this matchup, I would imagine. And it was okay. It was nothing too great. But it is what it is. Most of the Judgment Day looks dejected after losing earlier, and World Tag Team Champion Finn Balor and JD McDonough think they need to rally the troops. Balor says that it's just one night. Everyone thought they were done when they got rid of Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. They've got all the gold and are stronger than ever. Liv Morgan isn't even here. Dominic Mysterio asks if they need help, but Balor tells him to chill back in the backstage area, and Roxanne Perez gives him a Nintendo Switch, and Mysterio is impressed. Like he's a little fucking kid getting a present from his mommy. Like, what the fuck? Raquel Rodriguez says Morgan also enjoys playing WWE 2K25. Mysterio suggests they call her. Well, actually, yeah, the Raquel Rodriguez says that Morgan also enjoys playing WWE 2K25, and he suggests to call her. But, he seems like he's a little not focused on Liv Morgan, what's going on with her and her health lately. It's a little bewildering. So, next up, we had the World Tag Team titles. Cruz Del Toro and Joaquin Wilde going up against Finn Balor and JD McDonough for the tag team titles. This was not a bad tag team match, actually. The match kind of ended weird with El Grande Americano and then another person comes out as a Grande Americano, and I don't know if that's Chad Gable or not, but it was kind of weird. There was 2 different Americanos, and the tag team champions, though, were able to capitalize on this distraction, and Finn Balor gets the W for his team, and that's how the match ends, and they celebrate with the victory. Backstage, we have Jey Uso warming up for the main event against Bronson Reed. Gunther's walking backstage, and we're going to hear from him next. The Ring General Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, makes his way to the ring. A loud CM Punk chant gets going as Gunther stands in the ring. Gunther tells them to calm down because last week was a clean victory for him. Gunther went toe-to-toe on the microphone with the supposed best talker in the world. Another loud CM Punk chant cuts him off. Gunther looked him straight in the eye and told him what was going to happen at SummerSlam. Gunther left the voice of the voiceless speechless. The crowd chants, "You tapped out." Gunther says he may have, but he's not running out of things to say about CM Punk. Last week he told Punk he doesn't deserve to call himself the best in the world. He made it clear that Punk would never be the world champion. Most importantly, Gunther made CM Punk shut the hell up. Then CM Punk comes out, a huge reaction from him. The crowd sings his entire song. A massive CM Punk chant breaks out. Then Punk incredulously asks, "Speechless?" No more dumbfounded. It wasn't anything Gunther said. In that moment, it dawned on Punk as he stood across the ring from someone as great as Gunther that he didn't want to be world champion. Gunther's confused. Punk says, "I need to be the world champion." Punk says he needs it as much as he needs air in his lungs. He needs to be the world heavyweight champion just as he needs his heart to pump blood through his veins. Punk needs it like the Detroit Red Wings need a 12th Stanley Cup. Punk needs it like a Midwest dad needs a cold one. Punk doesn't drink, but he knows addiction. This place is his addiction. Punk needs to lift the title over his head as a thank you to the millions of people who have chanted his name for over 10 years. A loud CM Punk chant fires up, and it might not mean anything to Gunther, but it means the world to him. Punk needs to be the world heavyweight champion, for as great as Gunther is, he thinks Punk doesn't deserve to call himself the best in the world. Gunther is correct. He doesn't deserve it. He earned the right to call himself that. Punk can be arrogant about it. Gunther is out here as the world heavyweight champion being as arrogant as he is, but he can't back it up. Punk has left a trail of bodies of Hall of Famers, legends, and superstars that Gunther has only dreamed of being in the ring with. Gunther goes to tell him to shut up, but Punk stops him. Punk says, "I wasn't finished. There's levels to this, kid. And you're going to find out at a hard lesson at SummerSlam on Saturday that you're not on my level." On Saturday night, he's leaving the World Heavyweight Champion. At least Gunther will know what it's like to share the ring with the best in the world, CM Punk. Punk leaves the ring, and Gunther is furious. I like this. This was a nice way to end it with this mini little story that they're trying to tell. I think these two, at the end of all of this, if Seth Rollins gets involved, they will earn each other's respect, and Punk will be pissed again because he's going to get screwed again out of the World Heavyweight title. I don't think Seth Rollins is staying away. I think this is a minor issue with his injuries, or this might have been a fake injury that they try to portray to people so that they can get him off TV, heal him up so he can get some time away and rest, and that way come back and fuck CM Punk over out of the world title. Or it might be a legitimate injury, and if that's the case, then CM Punk will become the World Heavyweight Champion. So Punk could still have a chance at winning the world title and keeping it. But if during this match Seth Rollins cashes in, Punk ain't winning. Punk is going to get curb stomped, put away, and Punk will be the one pinned in this match once again. And this will be on Seth Rollins, pinning him and becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. This will lead to Paris, where Seth Rollins goes one-on-one with Gunther. We may see Gunther and CM Punk go one-on-one with each other on a Monday Night Raw to determine a number one contender, since both of them got screwed out of their one-on-one match. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but it's going to be interesting. I hope and pray that maybe Punk walks away with the W and wins the world title. We could see CM Punk face Sami Zayn for the world championship at WrestleMania. And Seth Rollins cashes in on Sami Zayn after he accomplishes his goal and wins the world title. For all we know. I have no fucking clue. I really don't. But this was a good one. I liked this segment. It was good. Very, very passable for hyping me up for the World Championship match. But, again, nothing really going on here with storytelling at all. So, it's kind of like just a normal match that's going to be a good wrestling match. Is all you can look at here is the in-ring work is what's going to really get you entertained by these two. Hype up for the matchup really didn't have much to offer. And that's because there was very little time to tell a story to make it important to me. Next, we had the main event. Jey Uso and Bronson Reed going one-on-one. Bronson Reed ends up losing the match, but at the end, still gets his ass kicked. Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed kicks their ass. After, near the end of the show, I believe Bronson Reed got a lot of an ass beating. Or Bronson Reed gave a lot of an ass beating to Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I think he gave the tsunami to Roman Reigns through the announcer's table, and then grabbed the Jordan sneakers that Roman Reigns wears and kissed it and held in his hands, like as if it was his girlfriend or some shit. I have no idea. But yeah, Braun Breaker, he looked dominant in this match too. After the match was over, he speared Jey Uso and Roman Reigns through the barricade. I mean, these two guys look like fucking monsters. And I mean, it looked like the natural disasters going on in here. Only they are better than natural disasters, personally, wrestling capability-wise. But these guys, they fucking look horrendous. And not in a bad way. I mean, like, they look like a fucking killing crew. I honestly think that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed should become tag team champions while, you know, Seth Rollins is holding the WWE World title. If that's the case. I don't know. We don't know yet if he's legitimately injured or not. We have to... SummerSlam's going to be the telling factor where we stand with Seth Rollins and his injury. So, it's all depending on what's going on with him. If he's doesn't show up for this show, then yeah, I can understand Seth Rollins is not the guy that's going to cash in, and we're moving past this for right now until he can come back. And that's pretty much that. Overall, though, this show was not that great, not that fun to sit through. Few good things happen on here, but other than that, nothing important happened here. If you missed it, you didn't miss a whole lot of anything. You can flip through some of the different segments that you might be interested in watching and give it a chance to see what your thoughts were on it compared to what I say, to develop your own opinion. But in all honesty, there's a lot of things you could skip in this episode. Probably take you an hour to get through the important things that you're interested in watching, and the rest of it's very skippable at best, honestly. I mean, there's nothing really to sit there and go, oh no, I missed Monday Night Raw last night. What am I going to do? You just go ahead, watch the spots, the segments that you're interested in, and that's it. Plain and simple. Nothing important really happened on this show, and if you watch it all the way through, you'll see my point and what I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, that's all I have to say here at this time. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.